welcome to my home. Today I'm going to show you how our Montessori home looks like and how you can create a simple, beautiful environment for your child or for your children in whatever space that you're living in. So come on in. As you walk into the foyer, this is what it looks like. So we have our boot tray here on the right. I didn't quite clean it as much as I wanted to for this video, but just try to keep it as real as possible. It is winter here in Canada and it is cold, so there's a lot of snow and ice. Here we have a chair for my husband and I to sit, to put our shoes on, and this beautiful vintage mirror that I found secondhand. As you keep going, here's a staircase that goes up the stairs, and what I decided to do was create a small space for our daughter to get dressed and to get her shoes on and her coat. So what I found at the thrift store, it was just a small hook to hang her coats up, and we just drilled it into the wall so everything is at her height and her level, so she can hang her coats there. And I have a basket for her hat and her mitts, and then this little toddler chair that she can sit on to put her boots on and to get dressed and ready for the day before heading out the main door. So when you walk in the house on the right, you have our family room, and here's the Christmas tree. So everything is very festive and Christmas decorated, and I have a very simple in this space. We call this the music room because I play the piano, and I do incorporate piano time with my daughter, and she sits on my lap and we just explore the keys and the sounds and the different things that the piano can do. And then in this basket here we have all the instruments, drums, shakers, a xylophone, different wooden real instruments for her to play with and explore when we're in this space together. As you can see, I have a low coffee table here in front of the couch, and I like to have candles on when it's a cold, dreary day, and our daughter doesn't show any interest at all in putting her fingers or putting anything in it. I think because I've exposed her to this from a very early age, she just naturally knows not to play with fire. But of course I am always in the room, or she's always in my view when she is near the candle. And something that we do together is we blow it out at the end when we're finished having it on. And that's a little dog that Grandma got her as a gift, so she likes to have him either on the couch or in the space, and he kind of goes quite well with the decor of the home. So as you move here, we have another room, which is the another family area. And here's where I spent a lot of time because this room is open to the kitchen. So as you walk in here on the left, we have this wall that I thought would be a perfect wall for her shelf. So I placed her shelf just right here. And when she was younger, she was using the pull-up bar, which my husband installed, and this shelf actually fit quite nicely underneath the pull-up bar. We had planned to stay in this house longer, but we will be moving in about 3 weeks to a new house, so I thought this was the perfect time to do a house tour. Over her shelf, I usually have different artwork and different seasonal things. In the fall, we had the framed leaves that I hung up above her shelf, and this time I just put a calendar with a picture of a baby seal. I like this photo of the baby seal, and a few of her objects on here, which we rotate every few weeks. Here in the corner, I created a bit of a reading area. So again, another toddler chair, and this shelf I found secondhand for $10 where she can place her books and pick the books, reach them. So I placed a new carpet on the hardwood just to add a bit of a warmth and softness to the room, and so she can be more comfortable on there. This is the pickler triangle that we have had for several months, and my daughter is just really starting to use it now. Well, this table here is from IKEA, and these chairs I found secondhand as well, and sometimes my daughter likes to sit here and just work on a few things just to change things up, and I just love this big window and how it just adds so much light into the room. Here we have a few plants that we like to water together, so I always have a watering can and always happy to do the house watering beside the plants in the kitchen. So this is the overall view of our kitchen setup here. I've taken a few things off just because we are moving, so it's not completely decorated, but I just wanted to show you a general idea. So we have these patio doors in the kitchen, and this is a toddler table and chair, and this is where she would eat her meals and snacks when she was little, just a few months, learning about 7 or 8 months, just learning to handle utensils and glasses. And I just really enjoyed, instead of having her against a wall, I wanted her to have a view of outside to see maybe the birds, and we used to have a rabbit that came to the house. So that's her eating area here. And then we have the IKEA kitchen, which I found secondhand as well. Usually these come with a top piece, but this one didn't, and I didn't really need it anyway. So you can just use a bottom piece, or you can make your own. Be creative with what you have. So we now use this as a functional kitchen for her in the house. She has her own garbage, which she places her garbage after peeling her oranges or blowing her nose, or whatever it is, she knows to put it in the garbage. And then my husband glued on a cutting board over top of the counter, and I just got this jug with water for her to pour her own glass or to wash her hands with, and I got this at Marshall's for like $12, and it fits perfectly in the corner here. This originally came with a faux faucet in the middle. We just took that out. This is like a scrubbing. You can have a sponge or a little scrubbing thing. You can have sponges so she can wash the dishes. And here we have a towel hanging for her to dry her hands after she washes her hands. And in here, as you can see, is all of her real things that she uses to eat. So we have some clear glasses that she will grab herself when we're setting the table, some placemats that she places on the table before eating, and then here we have some plates and her pouring jugs and a few utensils that she likes to use when she's helping me in the kitchen, either doing some baking or cutting, that sort of thing. And then on the side of the counter, I just placed a sticker hook and a little apron for her to use when she wants to work in the kitchen with me, especially when we're doing cooking and baking. And this is our counter space here. Now, when she was little, before we were using that kitchen, her kitchen counter, I would use a bottom drawer and just place the glasses or the plates or anything that she would use in here. But as you can see, it's a little bit cluttered right now, only because she's not using this drawer anymore. But if you have a low drawer in your kitchen or a low cabinet, you can also use that instead if you don't have the space or the room for a separate little kitchen counter. Now, whenever she's working with me in the kitchen, we don't have a learning tower. We just simply use a chair. And this is a wood set that, again, I bought secondhand. Just have to clean it a little bit better. But she will actually come here and she will push the chair to the corner, and we will stand together and use the countertop to do some baking and cooking. So she has both options. She has her little area here, and also we incorporate the real size kitchen counter and items and that sort of thing. So this is where we have our breakfast and meals when we're not entertaining bigger meals in the dining room. And here, as you can see, we have the Stokke high chair. Again, I found that secondhand. I just haven't cleaned it yet. And it's a great chair because it came with an attachment for her to use when she was younger, but we actually didn't get this until she was 14 months. Prior to that, she was just using the white plastic IKEA high chair. And, you know, if that works for you, use that. But the Stokke is great because it actually grows with the child, and you can adjust those two pieces, and it mimics the similar style as a regular chair. So I can do a separate post or separate video on that, explaining the difference and different ways that you can have your baby and toddler eating and sitting at the table with you. So that's the kitchen right. Here we have a radio flyer wagon, which she's had for about a year now, and that's where she started pulling herself up and slowly pushing it around the house, and then we would pull her in it, and now she enjoys pushing her things and her objects in the wagon throughout the house. And it's a great investment and a great piece to have in the home. It's very multifunctional, and this is what the space looks like from this view. So then here on the left we have the bathroom. This is a recycle bag that we have hanging on the door because it's the garage door. So whenever there's recycled items, our daughter will just come up and place the items in the recycle bag. This is the bathroom. So here we have a stool, diapers, and a potty. Now, I'll do another video on this topic, but our daughter, who's 16 months, never liked using the potty, so I can do something separate in more detail on how things work in the bathroom. But basically, we have a stool, we have a basket with her diapers, and that's basically it. In here, because this is the main floor powder room, when I show you the upstairs, I'll show you how the bathroom upstairs in our bedroom is set up there.